and welcome to a beautiful summer's afternoon, Sydney Motorsport Park. And the drone shot shows us from the Century Battery's point of view, a glorious green surrounding all around this precinct. And we have got our very first top 10 shootout of the year, the Repco Supercars Championship for 2025. So far, a nice looking lap for Cam Hill. He's been a Porsche Carrera Cup champion. He's been very strong in Toyota 86. He's been very strong in Dunlop Super 2. And he's now starting to become very familiar with the task of commanding the very best from a supercar. Out of the final corner for Hill, makes his run down the straight. Team owner Matt Stone keeps an eye on proceedings on the monitor in the garage. Let's have a look at what the number looks like here, and he's done a 29.8. So he's the best part of 3 to 4 tenths of a second up. As he negotiates the final corner, he gets wheel spin in second gear. Now that will have burned a tenth of a second or so. Let's see what the stopwatch says at the end of it. And he gets there, but did lose a little bit of time. 29.7645. We saw Ryan just drop it off the right-hand side there of the road. So nice, clean exit, making perfect gear shifts all the way to the control line. How good is the number? And it is a 1 minute 30.05.
Good job.
In through 9 and 10. Stability across the top of that curbing. What's it like here at 10? It hops over there nicely. The split for him in the mid-sector was a 38.8. It's about a tenth away from the best that we've seen, and that was Ryan Wood. He uses the rumble strip on the exit coming out of the final corner, and now it's looking at the shift lights to make sure that it's clean. Nobody dares blink inside the garages, and Andre drops it into position number 2 on a 1 minute 29.8846, and he's 1/10 of a second away from Ryan Wood. A little bit oversteery over the rise there. He got it balanced up nicely. Well, it wouldn't have cost him any time. In fact, a little bit of oversteer is a better thing to have at this layout than too much understeer. So that little slide sometimes is a win, and it's a great number. I was saying before this top 10 shootout that he was a real improver. This is a great lap so far. So far it's been peak of class in both of the first 2 sectors here for Thomas Randle. Beautiful job on exit, no dust, no dirt, didn't get onto the sawtooth portion of the curb. Now it's about efficient shifting all the way. He's got to get to a 29.7 to beat Wood, and he does that with a 29.4 and a 1/3 of a second margin. It's 1/100th away from Randle's fastest first sector. This is Mostert's 72nd shootout. I love watching him in these conditions because he reads the car grip so well. He maximises the ability to use all the road and flow the car as well as you possibly can, especially in places like this. So just a reminder, they have turned the sensors off at turn 5, hence the long way round, the tourism effect. Tourist drive. So they're using a ton of road down there at the moment in order to continue to try and make speed. Let's have a look at some numbers here. So the first split for him is right on the money, but the mid-sector for Mostert is best of class so far. We're potentially looking at a lap here that could knock off Thomas Randle out of the final corner. Car's stable on exit. Thomas is watching on the left-hand side of screen, staring at the micro sectors. Has Chaz got enough in hand when he grabs top gear? And the answer to that question is yes. The tiniest of margins. It is insane. 1 minute 29.3997, and he's got there by the barest of margins. Turns it in narrow. Slightly different approach line. He used second gear there. Some have been using second, some have been using third. Use second to get it turned. You get a bit more bang for your buck with the throttle control and the way the car gets at the corner. 29.71 puts him into P4 at the moment, just behind Will Brown. So we'll give you the next number right now. He's able to come off there nicely. Now this number, the cumulative number, is about a tenth and a bit away from Mostert, but the number is in the realms of where Randle and his teammate Brown are in terms of the outright number that we're seeing so far. Nice job on exit. Still a little bit of cloud cover over the top of the circuit on the run down towards the control line.
Andrew Edwards keeping an eye on proceedings down there at Red Bull, and that is a mighty third sector there for Brock Feeney, because he had snatched that one out of nowhere. So he got there by the craziest amount. So big gain in the final sector by nearly 0.2 of a second, and that has raised some eyebrows. What a job. He started from the pole last night. He converted it to a victory and maximum points. He's been doing a pile of sprint car racing across the summer. In fact, he's taking a breather next week just to step away from a racing car for a moment. But he is at the peak of his powers as he negotiates second or third gear and up and over the top of the hill through turns 3 and 4. And that first number is the best that we've seen, and it's the best by a margin through the first sector. He is driving to perfection at the moment, and this car is hooked up.
It's 0.2 of a second faster than the previous fastest in Sector 1. Unbelievable.
Just chirped the rear brake a little bit on the run here into turn 6, but he does have a cushion in hand.
He got his 30th career pole position yesterday. This is his 11th top 10 shootout for Boost Mobile qualifying in a row. Now, just had a little bit of an understeer in the middle of turn 8 then, but it's still a sensational run off the corner. He was able to put so much throttle on. The mid-sector is absolutely superb.
So good that at the moment he's on target here for another pole position. If he gets this final corner right, but it jumps sideways in second gear. Has that cost him any time? Now he's got to make perfect gear changes all the way to the line. Is it going to be good enough for Cam Williams to grab another Boost Mobile pole? And it is. He's done a 1 minute 29.1 for the Ford fans, and he's come home by 0.22 of a second over Brock Feeney. And Brock's performance in that last sector was absolutely spectacular, but straight off the bat, Waters was